Clearing. It's day 16 today, and we're going to have a lovely, lovely practice of opening the heart space. So it's a really beautiful practice for the heart. So grab some water and find something comfortable to wear, and I will meet you in an easy cross-legged pose. So we start our practice today in this lovely, easy cross-legged pose, and as I always say, that can mean anything for you. It doesn't need to be lotus position, it can just be with your legs as comfortable as you want them to be. You can even bring your soles of your feet together if that feels nice, but just feel comfortable in whatever position that you're in, so you can just center yourself and begin to relax. So today's practice is all about the heart chakra. It's a really lovely, flowy, easy practice. Lots of opening of the heart, so pulling the shoulder blades back towards each other. Imagine a huge great big light shining out from your heart. It's really good for slowing down your blood pressure, this practice, and anything that, if any blockages you feel, emotional blockages as well. So we are going to practice a little mudra today, which is a hand seal, and this is the heart mudra. So I'm going to ask you to just bring your hands to your knees, and I want you to close your eyes and just listen to my instruction here, so you can really feel what you're meant to be doing versus watching me. So just slowly blink your eyes closed here.
Keeping your eyes closed, I invite you to place your hands on your knees with your palms facing upwards. Bend your index finger and place it at the base of your thumb. You should be able to feel the pulse at the tip of your index finger from your thumb. Touch your thumb to your middle finger and your ring finger, and allow the little finger just to be relaxed. This is the heart mudra, Hridaya. The benefits of this mudra helps redirect prana, the energy, towards the heart, balancing the heart blood pressure and helping with heart problems. It also opens the heart on a pranic and emotional level, releasing emotions and tensions from the heart space. Slowly begin to open your eyes.
Okay, so from here we're just going to have some nice neck rolls. So I want you to draw a line with your nose and make a really small circle to begin with, maybe the size of, I don't know, a tuppenny bit. I'm sounding really old by saying that. 2 penny bit. And then slowly, gradually make this circle a little bigger with your nose now. Really flossing the back of the neck here, taking it slowly so you feel all of those little noises in the back of your neck, those sort of crystallized noises. You're creating more space, releasing all that tension, and make make this circle now as big as you can over each shoulder, and really feel the benefit of having this really beautiful circular motion going on. And once you've come to the largest circle that you can find with your neck, we're going to go the opposite direction and then slowly draw it down to that small circle again. So really feel how wonderful this is for releasing any tension in the back of the neck. Breathing nice and deeply when you practice these rolls, these circles. And then slowly draw that circle back to that tuppy bit, or whatever, So bringing your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're going to have 3 rounds of cat-cow. But before we do that, I encourage you to find that neutral spine by giving your hips a bit of a circle like we did with your neck. So maybe just circle those hips one way and then the other, really loosening up any tension in that lower back. Or maybe you're feeling little pops of tension inside the hip joint. Just try and send all of that bright white light energy to those areas of tension. So from here we're going to come into our cat-cow. So take a nice inhale, exhale, slowly curl the tailbone under, pushing the back up towards the sky, allowing the head to drop, chin into chest, and push the mat away here. And then slowly inhale, dipping from the hips, opening up that heart space, shine that heart forward. Exhale, curl the tailbone under, push the mat away. Really push those shoulder blades away from each other, and then inhale, dropping those hips. Allow the belly to come down. Be careful you don't sink in here. Really push the mat away and then open that heart. Breathe in deeply here. Exhale, curling around. One more time. Pushing. Should feel so lovely across the back of the neck. And then gliding through one more time into our cow. Opening that heart space even a little bit more. Pulling the shoulders away, down your back. And then slowly come back to neutral. From here we're going to take one step with our hands and then one more step. So our hands are nearly towards the front of the mat. We're going to come into puppy pose. So from here you're going to push your bottom back so your bottom is directly over your knees, and then slowly begin to melt that heart space down to the mat. You might want to drop your forearms to the mat, you might want to stay in your hands, whatever feels comfortable. So just check in with the body, how the body is feeling. You might feel really tight underneath your armpits or your biceps. And if it feels good, then just relax the forehead to the mat here. Feel the undoing of all of that tension in the upper back, in that bra strap area. It should feel really beautiful. And being mindful here of using that exhalation to allow the chest, that heart space, to melt down to the mat. Really slow, long breaths here. The longer you can make the breath, the more your body will melt into these asanas, these poses. Slowly lift your forehead, push up from your hands, bring yourself up into that tabletop position, and then drop the hips. Look up, open the heart space. See if you can allow those hips to come down to the mat by bending the elbows, opening the back. See if that pubic bone wants to get down to the mat. You can bend your elbows as much as you want here. If it's too much, then just come to whatever position you are, but open the heart space. Exhale, push down, come back into your puppy pose. Stick your bottom out, drop your forehead, and melt the heart space back down to the mat. So we'll do 3 rounds of these, taking it in with your breath. So take an inhale, come up. Exhale, drop the hips, open that chest area, melt the hips down to the mat if that feels nice. Push up, reach your bottom back and drop that heart space. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop the hips, open up the chest. Inhale, push up. Exhale, drop down into puppy pose. If it feels okay, try seeing if you can look down in front of your mat. If your chest feels open enough, even to make it more strengthy, more opening here. Come up onto your hands one more time, drop your hips, open the heart space. And then slowly bring yourself back into a tabletop, bring your hands underneath you. Slowly sit your bottom fully back onto your heels now and extend your hands away into child's pose. So again, here we're just coming into this lovely rest and digest pose where you can really let let go of everything. Just feel that heart space just melting here. Finding that space of calmness, allowing your body to go into the parasympathetic nervous system where you just relax, de-stress. Take 2 long deep breaths here. And slowly come up onto your hands and knees into tabletop position. Curl your toes under, and then slowly we're going to pipe those hips up towards the sky into our first down dog. Take it nice and easy, spread your fingers wide, making sure that head is heavy. Couple of yeses and nos with the head, just checking in that there's no tension there. Let gravity just allow the head to fall. If it feels nice to walk the feet into our walking dog and pedaling those heels, then go ahead and do that. Some people just prefer to hang here in a static downward dog. So just see what your body feels like doing. From here, we're going to walk our feet half the way up the mat and then slowly bring our hands to meet our feet and come into this really lovely forward fold. Allow everything to hang and melt this heart space down towards your knees in this sort of curled up fetal inversion here. Just a couple of breaths here. I know it might be quite strengthy on your hamstrings, it feels probably quite tight, but just breathe into it, allow the breath to lengthen those muscles. Then very slowly we're going to stack up into our mountain pose. So curl the tailbone under, stack each vertebra on top of each other, and then when your shoulders come up, I want you to bring your hands to your heart space, one hand over the other. Slowly close your eyes and pin the shoulder blades back towards each other here. Feel the beating of your heart. Standing tall here, and then slowly release your hands down by your side, and let's practice that mudra of the heart mudra here. So bringing that index finger into the base of the thumb, then bringing your thumb to meet your middle finger and your ring finger, and allow the little baby fingers to relax here. So 2 deep breaths here, grounding through your feet, really sending that intention of unblocking any blockages within the heart. Opening up that heart chakra and feeling love penetrating throughout your body here. Slowly release out of that, and then we're going to come into a beautiful sun salutation. So bring your arms all the way up to the sky, taking a big deep inhale here, and slowly hinging from the hips and raining it forward into our forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, so fingertips to mat, and really open the chest here. So look up and feel like that chest has been opened here. Try and lengthen through the back of the legs. If it's too much, then you can keep this slight bend here. And then slowly we're just going to allow everything to fall down into Uttanasana forward fold. Come back up on an inhale to halfway. Open the chest up. Exhale, come back down. One more time. Inhale to halfway. Shine that heart. Exhale, plant the hands. Step it back into your plank position. One breath, hold. Inhale through the crown of the head. Exhale, bend the knees. Curl the toes over each other. Ankles even. Drop the hips, and then slowly on an exhale, bend those elbows and come down all the way to the mat. Release the ankles here. Inhale, push up into cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades back towards each other. Exhale, melt the heart space down. Inhale, shine the heart. Exhale, release, dropping it down to the mat. Last time. Inhale. Shine that heart. Exhale, melt it down to Inhale, push up through your hands, bend your knees, curl your toes under, and push up into your downward dog. Hiking those hips up as high as you can here. Your choice, pedaling the feet if it feels nice, or maybe just hanging here in this lovely downward dog. Gaze should be between your knees or your thighs, encouraging that head to be super heavy. So from here we're going to take an inhale and reach this right foot up between our hands. Drop the back knee here. Untap that back toe and reach these fingers all the way up. Trying to reach the sky with the fingers and then maybe reaching back with those fingers by dropping into that hip space. Feeling a really lovely deep stretch over that left hip flexor, and then opening your arms into cactus here and shining that heart space forward. Really slowing the breath here, and then very slowly framing that front foot with the hands, curling the back toe under, lifting the knee and sending it back into your downward dog. One breath here. Take a big inhale. Exhale, bring the right left leg forward, drop the back knee, come up onto the fingertips. Inhale, reach those fingertips high, sink low in that lunge. Feel the stretch over the right hip flexor now. If it's too much on your neck to look up towards the sky, then just look directly in front of you. Just make sure that the heart space is open here by pulling the shoulder blades back, opening the heart here. Slowly bring the hands down. Curl the back toes, lift the knees, step it into your downward dog. One breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg steps up. Pivot the back foot as if you're going into your warrior two. Take your right hand to the mat. Inhale the left hand, reaching it tall. And then slowly you're going to push up, coming into warrior two. Beautiful. Keep that heart space open here. From here we're going to straighten the front leg, reaching forward with those right fingers before we parallel windmill our arms around into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Really opening the heart space here, pulling this top shoulder back as much as we can, finding the length through our neck to the crown of our head. Try and slightly micro-bend this front leg. Really nice. And then slowly we're going to bring it back up to warrior arms and then come back into reverse triangle. So drop the back hand onto the thigh, reach the right fingers up towards the sky and open the chest. So feel like your chest wants to, your heart space wants to shine forward here. Breathing nice and deeply through the right lung and opening through those right ribs. Very nice. Slowly we're going to bring your arms parallel to the mat. Bend that front knee as if we're going into warrior two, transitioning round with our hands, framing the front foot, stepping it back into our downward dog. One breath. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, pull your heels down to the mat. Inhale, left leg steps up between the hands. Pivot the back foot as if you're going into warrior two. Plug the left hand on the floor and reach the right hand up. And then feel like someone's pulling these right fingers up and then transition into your warrior two, standing tall here and being strong through this front leg. Pull back this front knee back so you're really using the correct muscles. From here we're going to straighten that front leg and then reach those left fingers forward, sending the shoulders over the hips and windmilling the arms around into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reaching those right fingers up as high as we can, encouraging your heart to be open here. Breathing nice and long, deep breaths. Slowly we're going to come back into warrior two arms and then sending it back into reverse triangle.
Drop the back hand, reach those left fingers up towards the sky and open the chest. Feel that heart space opening here. Be strong through your back, pulling your core in so you're not hanging into your back. You're using your abdominal muscles here to protect that back. Slowly bring it back into warrior two, arms, bending that front knee, windmilling the arms, framing the foot, and then stepping it back into your downward dog. Drop the knees here onto the mat, cross the ankles over, and then sit back into Dandasana, which is our seated position. From here, we're going to reach our arms up on an inhale, opening that heart space, and then slowly with our fingers, reaching towards our toes, opening the heart still. We're not curling the shoulders, we're still squeezing those shoulder blades back, melting this heart space, shining it forward. So whether your hands touch your feet or your ankles, just make sure that your back is nice and long here, breathing nice and deeply through the crown of your head, and then just melt it. Melt that heart space by just coming from the hip crease here. It doesn't matter how low you get, you certainly don't need to be, your chest doesn't need to be touching your thighs, just allow that breath to see if you can get a little bit more space down the back of the hamstrings. Breathing slowly into the heart, quietening everything down, becoming aware of your breath, sending any unwanted thoughts away. Slowly begin to stack back up, using your hands to bend your knees and bring your bottom down towards your heels, and then coming down into a supine position before we come up into our bridge pose. So bring your heels back to your bum, bring your hands to your mat either side, and then slowly on an inhale you're going to plant that lower back onto the mat by curling the tailbone under, and then slowly lifting the lumbar spine off the mat. So peel it off one vertebra at a time, squeezing the shoulder blades back towards each other. I always find that interlacing your hands underneath your bottom helps you with that. So you can come onto the fleshy parts of the tops of the arms. Really push up through those hips. Finding that your ankles are definitely underneath your knees are hip width apart. So just readjust if you need to. Trying to send this chest, this heart space up as high as you can. And then just very slowly readjust by dipping the chin maybe a millimetre or so down to the chest, just lengthening through that neck. Inhale into the heart, exhale through your feet, grounding. 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Slowly begin to release those fingers, and then very slowly curl that tailbone under and really purposely drop each and every vertebra onto the mat until you've completely dropped the last bone onto the mat, and then arch the back. Should feel lovely. Bring your knees up towards your chest, hug your knees in, take your shins with your hands, bring your knees up towards your head up towards your knees, and have this lovely internal squeeze. Closing your eyes and bringing your sort of gaze into that heart space. And then very slowly release your head back onto the mat. Take your hands behind your thighs, and we're going to roll up into our seated position. So have a little rock here and rock yourself up into your seated position. Bring yourself back into that lovely, easy, cross-legged pose, bringing ourselves into that mudra. Index finger to the base of the thumb. The thumb meets the middle finger and the ring finger, and allow the pinky finger just to relax. Sit tall through your spine, slowly dip your head and blink your eyes closed. Just
grateful for what your body's done, and checking in and seeing how the heart space feels. Sending you love through my heart space to yours. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you come back and see us tomorrow. Until then, have a gorgeous day ahead of you. Namaste.